have to lift the Bibles up. On the right, eh? Yes, please. These Bibles have to be lifted. Okay. I, Solomon Ajete, swear by the Almighty God that the evidence I shall give before this committee touching the matter in issue shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Okay, Honorable Minister, could you introduce yourself and the people who came with you?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I am Richard John Mensah, the Deputy Minister for Energy and Green Transition and the Member of Parliament for Gomwa West in the Central Region. I will defer to my colleagues to introduce themselves.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Solomon Ajete, so Acting Chief Director of the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. I am Brenda Laye Japon.
Please get closer to the microphone.
Sorry. My name is Brenda Laye Japon, Director for Human Resources. Sorry.
Honorable Chair, Richard Kokubodi is my name, Director of Finance at the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition.
My name is Isaac Nsakubaini, Director in charge of Policy Planning, Budgeting, Monitoring, and Evaluation at the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition.
My name is Nicholas Amegleto, Chief Internal Auditor of the Ministry.
All right, Honorable Minister, there are only two infractions. And first infraction is on paragraph 2007 and unserved bond. And Honorable Pato would take care of that one, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Minister and the Chief Director, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Before me is a unserved bond, totaling amount of 120,347.03. That was granted to one Mrs. Yasewa Jan between 20. Between 2021 and 2022 for a steady leave term of 2 years. After completion of her study, she returned back to the ministry, but failed to serve her bond term of 2 years. She vacated her post 2023, 10th October, and this amount has been accruing. Now, the table here shown how it was done. 2021, 29,288.40. 2022, 44,437.80. 2023, 14,419.26. Totaling 88,145.86, with added value bond of 32,201.57. Total in all 120,347.03 as mentioned. I want to find out from you. The auditor's report said that the Chief Director should ensure that this money has been recovered and pays him into auditor's account at the Bank of Ghana. I want to know whether it has been done or it has not been done. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I will defer to the Director of Finance to respond to this. Thank you.
Respectfully, Honorable Chair, as stated in the auditor's report, still pursuing the officer to make sure that the funds are refunded back to the government.
She has a guarantors. Have you been able to contact the guarantors?
Honorable, that is so. We've written to the guarantor. We've done a follow-up by even calling the guarantor. All the response we are getting is he will try and contact the daughter to refund the said amount.
My understanding is the guarantors serve as a purpose in case of defaultment of such things like that. They come into, pay, or we held them responsible. Have you taken any action to hold the guarantors in, accounts for such that they are ensured to pay?
Respectfully, Honorable, that's the more reason why the ministry wrote a letter to the head of service for that necessary actions to be taken against the guarantor. So as it stands now, it's pending at the head of service, and we are waiting for their direction so far as the guarantor status is concerned, Honorable.
And then I refer to you. Any steps so far, after all this taken to ensure that you recover the money, any steps? Can you tell us when?
Honorable, please, the question again, please.
Any further steps that we've been taking to ensure that we recover this amount? Can you tell the committee, apart from the 2-month one that we've been taking, have you taken any steps again?
Respectfully, Honorable, when we receive a letter inviting us to this committee, we even call the guarantor on the phone to remind him that this issue is still pending. What is the way forward? And still he give us the way that he will do his best to find the daughter to come and refund the said amount. And Honorable, I even have the phone number of the guarantor here with the permission of the committee. If Honorable will let me give the number, because we are on the media, then everybody will know the steps that we've been taking. And the name of the guarantor is Mr. Kwesi Ampem Obojan. And the phone number too is here, with the permission of Mr. Chair, if.
Ask it. Chair,
no phone.
one more, then I hand over, please. Did you call the person in question or the guarantor?
Respectful Honorable, the person is out of the jurisdiction. So it was the guarantor that we called. We tried the person's phone number, it wasn't going through. And that was the reason why we went to the house to find out whether or not she could be defined, and we couldn't find it.
Thank you very much. You know where the guarantor is, right?
That is so, Honorable.
The person who is running away from serving the bond is Miss Yasewa Jan. Isn't that so?
That is so, Honorable.
Yeah. And when did she leave the country?
Honorable, our checks shows that she left the country about more than a year ago, but they didn't give us the exact month that she left the country.
More than a year ago. Do you have any idea where she's gone to? Either U.S. or...
Mr. Chair, we were told that you've gone to the U.S.
She's gone to the U.S.?
That is so.
Oh, Master, just get the police. They will find her in the U.S. Yes. Get the police. Get with our foreign affairs also. Let them know. She will probably go and renew her passport. And they will let her know that she owes this amount. Get the police involved. The government cannot pay for people to go for steady leave, and then when they finish, they abscond. That is not fair. And the guarantor...
Because the onus is on him. We say that further to that, there's a recommendation, and it's clear that if this fails, the chief director pays.
Honorable member.
And I'm also saying that even from the auditor's own rendition, the management led by the chief director failed to respond to the auditors.
Honorable member.
Yes.
I've made a ruling on this. They should get the police involved. And we want a response within 30 days. If we don't get any response, we'll go to the next step.
Thank you.
The next infraction is on paragraph 2011. And Honorable Nakoya will take that one.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This infraction is on 211, page 448. It's on unearned salaries. Contrary to the Regulation 92 of the Public Financial Management, Regulation 2019, our audits of the payroll records disclose that 3 employees who vacated posts between December 2022 and December 2023 were validated and paid unearned salaries totaling 24,253.49 pesos. The details below: Ali Kanga Nuhu, Seth Apia, and Cornelius Deli. Now, I would want to find out, can you inform the committee of the status of this observation?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, the Director of Finance would respond to this.
Respectfully, Mr. Chair, in respect of these issues, all the 3 staff that have been mentioned in this report were at post as at the time that they were paid the salaries. But when the auditors were conducting the audit, due to misfiling, we couldn't provide the necessary information to them at that time. But, Mr. Chair, after diligent search by the team of the ministry, we were able to recover all the necessary evidence, and same were brought to the attention of the auditors. But the issues that the auditors raised was, it has already been captured in the auditor's general report, and it's not within their purview to do anything, and we need to appear before this honorable committee, for this honorable committee to give a direction. So, Honorable Chair, we are here at your guidance as you so direct what needs to be done for these issues to be resolved.
Honorable member, auditors, have they provided the necessary documents?
Honorable Chair, we are yet to have documentation or evidence to the fact that these staff exist. What happened was that the audit was done, an observation was issued. We were not given any evidence that they existed. And I think that from engaging with the team, they have asked that if they say they exist, then they should produce them for us to ascertain that indeed they are staff that are at post. But we don't have that at the moment. And so we cannot say whether what they are saying is what actually exists or not.
You say these people were employed at the time,
That is so, Honorable.
and you brought the people here?
As we speak, they are no more at post.
They are no more at post.
That is so.
So you are challenging the auditor's findings over here?
That is so, Honorable. That's why, Honorable, I said at the direction of this committee.
But sir, when they came in and audited you, they did the next exit interview with you, didn't they?
It was done, Honorable.
And at the exit interview, they mentioned this to you.
That is so, Honorable.
And it was on your management letter.
That is so, Honorable.
So if you had any dispute, how come you didn't? You had 30 days for you to respond, didn't they?
That is so, Honorable.
Why didn't you do that within the 30 days?
Honorable, that's the one reason why we admit, as at the time the report was being issued,
Yeah.
the necessary evidence to back our assertion wasn't available. But after diligent search, we were able to recover all the evidence to back our
When did you
assertion.
find the evidence?
Respectfully, Honorable, about 3 months ago.
About 3 months ago. Why didn't you share that with the auditors?
Respectfully, Honorable, we brought it to the notice of the auditors. As I said earlier on, they said since the report has been captured, notice general report, there is nothing that they can do unless we appear before this committee for our side of the story, for honorable members to give a direction. So far,
You are the finance officer,
that is so, Honorable.
director of finance, but you know that is not it. Once you find it, after the fact, you need to give it to the auditors. So what I would have done over here is ask the auditors. They claim that they've shown you this evidence. Do you have it? They would say yes Or no? Or you enjoy coming on national television? The whole country is watching us, oh, Masa. Do you have the evidence here?
That is so honorable, Mr. Chair.
Hand it over to the auditors. They will review it and they will let us know whether these are genuine or they will accept these ones. So they will let you know. But next time, give it to them before you get here.
Honorable, we take a clue from
Yeah.
the chair.
And if you want to be on national TV, let's do it on a different level. Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, you guys are discharged.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Now let's call Ministry of Roads and Highways. And clerk, please swear them in.
Please, those sitting there, you are also to be sworn in, so if you can, yeah.
I swear by the Almighty God. That the evidence I shall give before this committee. Touching the matter in issue. Shall be the truth. The whole truth. And nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Honorable Minister, can you and your delegation introduce yourself?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. My name is Al-Hassan S. Suhini, Member of Parliament for the Tamale North constituency and Deputy Minister for the Ministry of Roads and Highways. And I bring you greetings from my Minister, Honorable Kwame Govins Agboza, who is Member of Parliament for the good people of Adaklu. He is currently attending the TICAD conference with His Excellency the President in Japan and would have wished to be here himself. Thank you very much. My directors from the ministry will take turns to introduce themselves, starting with the Chief Director.
Good afternoon. I'm Samuel Kwesi Akwaku, Acting Chief Director for the Ministry of Roads and Highways. Thank you.
I'm Kolgo Emmanuel, Director of Finance, Ministry of Roads and Highways.
Good afternoon. I'm James Godfrey, Director, Department of Urban Roads.
My name is Samuel Yaubanini, Acting Director, Department of Feeder Roads.
I'm Engineer Kwesi Asamoah, Head of Planning, Department of Feeder Roads.
Thank you very much. Your infraction starts from paragraph 1912, abandoned projects, and Honorable Sherry Che will take care of that.
Thank you.
This infraction is to do with abandoned projects in the Ashanti region. The auditors noted during their inspection of the roads that the Department of Urban Roads in Kumasi expended a total amount of 62,307,872.99 cedis on the projects, but also found that they have been abandoned for 48 to 56 months. Management response attributed this abandonment to force majeure, delays in IPC payments, amongst others. And there was a recommendation for the regional director to report to the head office on the update of these projects and also to give priority to the completion of these projects. Can you please update the committee on the progress of this?
Honorable Chair, the Director Urban Roads will take that question. Thank you. With your permission.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Yes, indeed, a number of projects have been committed through the Department of Urban Roads, and some are indeed abandoned as we speak. The department has looked at our project portfolio and has made a recommendation to the Ministry for rationalization. As the report indicated, some have been delayed for 48 to 56 months, and we believe that it's about time that some of them are truncated or terminated so that we can repackage them and get a job done, because it has not become very prudent for us to continue with this length of delay. Thank you.
Your reasons that you gave, they are all lumped up. I am particularly conversant with the macro routes, which happens to be in my constituency, and I know how long it's taking for this road to be done. It's been abandoned for a long time. Could you please help us assign reasons to some of the routes and the reasons for delay? If you could do that, please.
Yeah, Honorable Chair, I think with that particular road and some of the other roads, the main reason for the delay has been our inability to make timely payments to the contractors. So due to the lack of payment, they've not been able to come back to sites. But as I was trying to explain, because of the length of delay, it's become even more expensive to continue the projects in its present state, because we would be paying for interest instead of for work done. So it's in our interest to truncate and terminate these projects and have a new repackaged projects which will be more worth our while. Thank you.
Could you please tell the committee, give timelines as to when you are looking at getting this repackaged?
The recommendation has been made, but as we know, subject to the availability of funds, we would repackage them and recommit the projects. Thank you.
So you can't give any specific time?
Hopefully before the end of the year.
Honorable Member, Ministry of Urban Roads is saying that, not Ministry, sorry, Department of Urban Roads, right? It says it's because of money. And your road was 38.8% complete. And now they have to look for money. If it was like 84.69%, like the one in Adako Kwachi and Adako Jachi and Kwamo, that one, then it means that one was 84, almost 85%. So waiting on the ministry, waiting on Ministry of Finance to give them some money. We all have roads in our constituencies. So let's pray on that one.
Thank you very much, Chair.
And
I just told Chairman that we already have money under the big push, 13.9 billion Ghana cedis. And yes. So, yes, 13.9, and we can cut down our losses and complete them. I think, Minister, Deputy Minister, if you can send a message across to your minister that I know there's 13.9 billion in the budget for the big push, and the big push happens to be roads. And so if we can tweak it to make sure we cut down the losses and the interest payment and complete some of these roads rather than starting new roads from the scratch, I'll be very grateful. I know you pass it on because you are my friend.
Mr. Chairman, Honorable Chair, I thank you for the message that you are sending to my boss through me. Yeah. I just wish to say that, yes, there is 13 billion. You have worked at the Ministry of Finance, and I hope you still have some relationships there that you can use to ensure that the releases are timely. And then when the releases are timely and full, I can assure you, like the Department of Urban Roads Director has said, that when the funds are available, we will prioritize some of these projects. Indeed, Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I do know that my minister has publicly stated that projects that are 80% and above done will be prioritized for completion. Yes. And it is something that we want to take on board. Thank you very much.
The next infraction also talks about delayed projects. And Honorable Frankie Boy will take that one.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The infraction is on paragraph 1917 to 1920. And the auditors are saying that you paid 480 million Ghana cedi and $1.7 million to 13 contractors in the Ashanti region to undertake road projects. And according to them, the contract has delayed up to 2 years, ranging from 1 month to 24 months. They attributed the delay to lack of commitment on the part of the contractors, pending approval for extension of time, additional works to be done, and other things. So the auditors recommended that you should, the director of, the region director in the Ashanti region, Urban Roads, should update the head office on the status of the projects, and also advise the head office to ensure that, to prioritize the completion of the existing project, the 13 delayed projects, before thinking of awarding any new contracts. So the first question is, the director is not here. I want to know if the head office has been updated. That's the first question.
Honorable Chair, yes, the head office has been updated of the status of all our roads in the country, and that includes the ones in the Ashanti region. Thank you.
So my second question is, the auditor's recommendation was clear that no new contracts should be awarded until and unless the existing 13 have been done. So the question is, have you awarded any new contract or attempted to award any new contract after the receipt of the auditor's recommendation?
Honorable Chair, I do not think we've awarded any contract after this. But as I said earlier, we are in the process of rationalizing our project portfolio so that we'll have real value for money and try and complete what we can immediately complete before committing more. Thank you.
My last one. If we look at Appendix M, page 541, one of the reasons why the contracts have delayed is the fact that there's lack of commitment on the part of the contractors. If we look at item number 5 and 6, Prime Sec Ghana Limited, the contract was supposed to have started on the 15th of September 2021 to be completed 14 September 2023. if you look at percent of completion, it's 0. Number 6, the same thing. Completion is 0. So if you are saying that you don't see any commitment on the part of the contractors, what prevents you from invoking the clauses in the contract to terminate and re-award to somebody who can do the work?
Yeah, Honorable Chair, thank you very much for the question. I think as part of the rationalization, a number of projects are to be determined, or let's say terminated. Our project portfolio is in excess of 800 projects, and we've made recommendations to the ministry to reduce that to less than 300. And this includes a number of projects which the contractors have not shown adequate commitment for them to be terminated. So it is being considered along those lines. Thank you.
Chairman, thank you. My last one. So what practical measures have we put in place to ensure that these 13 delayed contracts are completed on time?
Honorable Chair, the contractors have been written to know what challenges, peculiar challenges that they have that we don't know of. But generally, once the contractor has not shown enough commitment, the recommendation is made for the project to be terminated and repackaged for another contractor to show better commitment to complete the project for the beneficiary communities. Thank you.
Okay, Honorable Member, I'm sure there were some contractors that the ministry pays some money to that never even started the work. And I'm sure, I hope, and I'm sure you go after them, so that those who collected the money and didn't do any work, you hold them up to public accounts or whatever it needs to be. They need to cough up the money. You can't take a bicycle like that. The next infraction is on paragraph 1921, and it to be taken by Honorable Duke William Allen Kwame Amwakwata Oforiata.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the infraction at paragraph 1921. The issues here are 36 outstanding projects valued at 1.562 billion cedis in the Western region. And you can find that on Appendix N. These projects are at various stages of completion, from 7% to as high as 99%. My question to the officer in charge: how long before the audit was this project at 99% to completion? Or work done, sorry.
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. With your permission, the Chief Director for the Department for Feeder Roads will answer that question. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Please, I want a clarification on the last part of what the Honorable just said.
My question was, the road, one road, here, Mutuo to Apiakrum, 16 kilometers, is registered at 99% work done. And I'm asking, how long before the audit was this the case?
This project, per the requirement is substantially completed. I mean, a project from above 85% is substantially completed. It can be, we can even issue substantial completion certificate for this project. So in our view, it's essentially completed. Yeah.
So when would a certificate will be issued, and when would that be done? Certificate of completion, when would that be done?
We'll do the necessary inspection on the project and issue the required certificates. Thank
So
you,
you are
Mr.
yet
Chair.
to do an inspection of completion?
Yes.
So why the delay?
it's completed, though, like I said. So we'll check and then get back. Thank you.
Yes, please.
Oh, sir, did you say that you would check and get back?
No, Honorable, what I said was that, like I will still maintain this project is completed. I mean, so the 1% is essentially completed, this project.
Were you aware of the audit report? Had you read the audit report, or had it been brought to your notice on this project?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And it says 99%.
Yeah, it's completed, Mr. Chair. Yeah.
I will come back to it later on, but let's move on. Honorable, are you done? Okay, go ahead.
There's a second road which is also 94% done, work done. When would that road be signed off or be completed? So the road is Ikropong to Adansi Road. Wasa Ikropong to Adansi Road.
Yeah, Honorable, this road is also substantially completed. Yes.
At 94%.
Yes, 94% completed.
Yeah, so when did it attain 94% before the audit? That's what I want to know.
No, at the time of the audit, it was 94% complete. That is how it's recorded at 94% complete. So at that time, at 94%, it is substantially completed. Okay. So what you see in such a project may be a road marking or a signpost. But those works, that road is completed, it is functional, it is open to traffic. And maybe just ancillary, which I not really do not impact on the functionality of the road.
That's my next question. Management.
Honorable Chair, if I may, when a road project is said to be 94%, 95% complete, the understanding in the industry is that what is left usually are just the road markings, the road furnishings, and all that. But at 94, 95%, it means that it is substantially complete. That's the understanding. And so when the audit is done and it is captured that it is 94% complete, if you ask us today and we tell you it is complete, it means that after the audit, perhaps the road markings and other road furnishings may have been added. Thank you very much.
The auditors recommended that the regional director should ensure that the head office is updated on the current status of the project, and also advise the head office to give priority to the completion of the projects before new projects are awarded. Has that been done, please?
Yeah, Honorable, yeah, we took that advice from the auditors, and we are prioritizing those projects before we embark on any new projects.
Auditors, yes. Please, can you confirm that this has been done? Have you been updated?
Yes, the update has been done.
It has been updated.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Any other question? That's it.
All right, thank you. You are done, right? The man with 5 names. Okay, the next infraction is on paragraph 1927, and Honorable Konedu will take that one.
Chairman, thank you very much. Chairman, these are not abandoned roads, but they are, however, delayed projects. There are about 4 road projects in the Sehurioso, Bibieni, and the Awaso Township roads, which have been delayed. If the ministry can tell us the status of these roads, whether work has begun on them again.
Please go ahead.
Honorable Chair, these works, my understanding is that works have resumed on the projects in the Sehurioso district, municipality, sorry. Thank you.
And have you by yourself verified? Because you said your understanding is. So that means you're probably not sure, but you presume that work has begun on those ones.
Yes, Honorable Chair, I said my understanding because the contractor has brought in a recent certificate that I'm aware of. So I know definitely work has been done. But I have not personally visited the site. But based on the documentation, it is my understanding that work has resumed. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, once work has resumed, I believe that you just would have to follow up for completion, because I think these are very important rules that will serve Ghana and the citizens. So just keep your eye on them. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. The next infraction is on paragraph 1923, and Honorable Nana Osieje.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Chief Director, this is about page 427. Unrecovered performance security for non-performance. It's totally 30,953,279 Ghana cedis. Please, have you seen it? Okay. The auditors said that our review of the contract records disclosed that the department neither took action to recover the total performance securities from 4 contractors who failed to complete or execute contracts for the upgrade and rehabilitation of feeder roads worth 123,138,506 Ghana cedis, nor terminated the respective contracts for non-performance. The contractors were City Construction Company Limited, and the grantor was Finis Insurance, Geodata Engineering Limited, Serene Insurance, Memphis Metropolitan Limited, Serene Insurance, My10 Limited, Finis Insurance, all totaled 30.953 million. The auditors recommended that the regional director should terminate the contracts and recover the amount of 30 million from the insurance companies that issued the performance securities and pay same into the Auditor General's review recoveries account at the Bank of Ghana. We also recommended that the regional director should report the contractors to Public Procurement Authority and other bodies for necessary sanctions. Chief Director, my first question to you is, have you terminated the contracts? And if so, have you given evidence to the auditors? That's my first question.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, there are quite a number of non-performing contracts. So in our review, we look at whether the contract needs to be terminated first. So if it's in our view, we think the contract needs to be terminated, we recommend it to the awarding authority, which is the entity tender committees, to adjudicate, and from what they are awarded. So we go back to them for them to terminate same. They look at 2 or 3 issues. do we owe the contractors? First, they look at the percentage of completion. Projects which are about 70%, 60% completed, and the employer or the government of Ghana owes them some money. Maybe they've put in the interim certificates, number 1, number 2, and number 3, and they've not been paid. The entity committee is always reluctant, even though per our recommendations, we say this contract has been dormant or that they are reluctant to terminate the contract. In some cases, even where some of them have been terminated, the contractors put in a petition or an appeal.
Chief Director, have you terminated? Has it been done? Yes.
We
no.
can terminate only if the entity, the entities, so the entity says no. Some of the contracts cannot be terminated. So there's nothing we can do because they are being owed large sums of money. And therefore, they weighed the options and said, well, we should just stay and hope that they are paid and they go back to site to complete. So, and if we don't terminate the contract, we cannot recover, we cannot call for the performance, we cannot call for the security or the monies that are due out of the security. So first, there should be a termination, then we proceed to call for the monies due.
So, have you informed the auditors about this?
Yes.
Auditor, please, are you aware?
Yes, Honorable Chair, they have informed us. When you even look at the report, they made a comment about the fact that 2 of them have started some work but failed to complete. And then there were others that did not even start at all. And so per their own analysis, they have come back to us that terminating it will be difficult. And that has been communicated to us.
Chief Director, can you tell the committee the other 2 companies who didn't start the work at all?
Yeah, Honorable, the other 2 contractors who didn't start, in a way, they are in a bit also caught up by the observation my colleague asked. Honestly, even one of them, as we speak now, has virtually been awarded a judgment debt for an arbitral award against the state because the employer was defaulting in obligations under contract by the same contractor on other projects. So the point was that when we were seized with this non-performance information, the idea was that the cost to the employer, even though it was on this project, the same employer had reneged on other projects being executed by the same contractor. So when they are being challenged on this particular contract, you are a bit hamstring in terms of taking on the contractor. Because as we speak now, one of the contractors, maybe the ministry can speak to it, but I know one of the contractors, because of the challenge from the employer in terms of settling delayed IPCs, they have taken on the employer. So they didn't perform this. But when you go to the entity challenge, we are having to take action on some of these contracts.
Okay. Honorable Member, did you get the answer you needed?
No, please.
Honorable, what I'm saying is that it may be the case that strictly sense, so you may say this contractor is working on this project. But the truth is that the same contractor is working on about 5-6 projects, and the same employer has also reneged on about 6 projects for which this same contractor is undertaking. So when you want to take action, even where he has defaulted, you also may be minded about the remedy available to the contract on the other projects that the same employer has defaulted. So it's a kind of a balancing act, because he has about 7 projects where the employer has virtually defaulted, for want of a better word. Then there's this one project. There's remedies under 6 projects. You have remedy on the single project. So you have to do a balancing act so that we don't necessarily compromise the state, because his remedy is higher against the state than what the state has on that single project.
Honorable member, I mean, to explain it in street terms, government hasn't paid him. So when he's talking about employer, it's all that government didn't pay. And now if you didn't pay, how can you squeeze him on another project that you haven't paid either? You know.
Honorable Chair, I think you have put it, succinctly. That is the crust of the matter. We appreciate that no 2 contracts are the same, and you don't extend the same treatment to the different contracts. But in the ministry, you operate based on relationships that these contractors have with the ministry. And based on that understanding, contractors go to work with the hope that they will get paid. So where they are owed on other projects and they have remedies they can seek legally, and they don't do that, where they also, fall short on 1, you fall short on 6, and they have not taken you to court to demand their pound of flesh. If they fall short on 1, and you demand your pound of flesh on that, then you will be putting the state at risk if they also demand their pound of flesh on the 6 that you also fail to, make good on. And so it is perhaps based on this that the entity tender committee usually will advise that we hasten slowly on recovering the securities that we are entitled to. Thank you.
Okay, next infraction is on paragraph 1032, and Honorable Faustina Akurogo will take care of that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The infraction, disbursement not adequately supported. That's 1932. Okay. Okay. So it is recommended that the regional director should ensure that the accountant refund 10,147,000 into the account of the Bank of Ghana. Failure means that the regional director should pay. I want to ask the accountant general how far with this? Thank you. The regional director, sorry.
Honorable Chair, thank you very much. At the time of the audit, the receipts were not available. However, subsequent to the audit, we've found the receipts and submitted them to the auditors for their review. Thank you.
Why are the receipts not available?
Honorable Chair, the receipts are available now. At the time of the audit is when my understanding is that they had been misfiled. But subsequent to the audit, they've identified and given it to the auditors for their review.
You may want to find out from the auditors if they didn't pay.
Auditors, how far with this? Thank you.
So, Honorable Chair, the disbursement has actually been supported now, adequately supported now.
The next infraction is on paragraph 1935. Honorable Sebastian Day.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. This particular infraction has to do with an earned salary. and it concerns a gentleman called Mr. Vincent Akanpai, an assistant engineer with staff number ID 1586984, who vacated post on 17th July 2004, but received 2024, but received a total amount of 7,589 cedis 30 pesos for August 2024 and September 2024. The auditors recommended that the regional director should recover the unearned salary with an interest at the Bank of Ghana prevailing rate and pay same into the Auditor General's recoveries account at the Bank of Ghana, failing which the regional director and the validators should pay. The question is, well, management, in response to the auditor, said they had informed head office for necessary action to be taken. Now, my question is, how far? Has this amount been recovered? If not, why? And may I also ask whether the in charge thinks that by informing head office, that is enough? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. The unearned salaries have been recovered and paid into government chests. And the receipts have been given to the Auditor General for confirmation. A total of 9,084 cedis, 40 pesos have been recovered from the Mr. Vincent Akanpai. So it has been complied with. Management in the region informed head office for direction, which was duly given, and they've contacted them for the monies to be repaid into government checks, which has been done. Thank you.
Can the auditors help us by confirming this in this statement?
Honorable Chair, we can confirm that a total of 9,084.40 has been recovered. That is 1,495 above what we actually recommended. So it means that it has been recovered with the interest in addition. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, the next infraction is on paragraph 1938, and Honorable Dr. Jessa will take that one.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Chair, this one has to do with non-deduction of Tier 2 contribution of casual workers of the Department of Feeder Roads in the Upper East region. Mr. Chair, the auditor noted that between January 2023 and December 2023, the accountant failed to deduct and remit Tier 2 contribution amounting to 5,592 Ghana cedis on behalf of the casual workers. Mr. Chair, the regional director was recommended to do two things. One, to appoint a fund manager. In fact, to ensure that a fund manager is appointed. And then two, ensure that the deduction is carried out. So I want to find out what has been done so far about this.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The first one, which is the appointment of a fund manager, has been done. The agreement has been submitted to the auditors for their further action. So that one has been done. Have we done the second one? It has been done. Yeah, the 5,592.22 has also been recovered. I think the auditors.
Mr. Chair, can the auditors confirm this?
Honorable Chair, what we can confirm is that the fund manager has been appointed. That we know, but as to whether they have remitted the 5,592.22, that we don't have the evidence.
So, Mr. Chair, does the department have any evidence to the fact that you've remitted the 5,592?
Hello, Honorable. These were done, these have been paid to the casual workers. So we are trying to recover those ones from them because those amounts have already been paid to the casual workers. So we hope to recover them and save and transfer them to the fund managers.
So what steps are you taking to recover them and then transfer to the fund manager?
So what we'll do is that there are going to be deductions from the casual workers, but they are still in place. So they are going to be made, there are going to be deductions from their salaries so that we can transfer to them to the newly appointed fund managers because they are still in place.
When was this brought to your notice and when do you intend to start the deduction?
We can only do the deduction after the appointment of the fund managers. The fund managers have now accepted our proposal. So with the acceptance now, we can now effect the deductions and transfer to the fund managers.
When was this acceptance? When did it come to your notice that the fund managers have now accepted the appointment?
It should be. Man, I cannot really get, but I know we was the casual officers, and we were not even sure whether before we complete our engagement, they will be still at post. So we have just recently been able to engage them. So hopefully the deduction should start in a month or two. But it was just recently we managed to engage the fund manager. I think about a month, it may even be less, because it was not easy. We virtually had to now prevail on hedge trust to accept the offer, because as I said, these are casual offers, and for them at times running these accounts in terms of the overhead cost may not even justify those in bond. But we finally managed to prevail on them, and we will start the deductions immediately they become operational. But I think, unfortunately, if I have the date, but it's just about a month ago. Yeah, what's the date, please? You can say 15th. Yeah, so this we have copies with the audits, but I didn't have the, but it's here. That's about 15th of this month. So they are just about to take, it's 15th August. Yes, 5 days. Well, it was not easy, Chairman. It's not easy getting a fund manager. This is 5,000 for 12 months. So you can imagine.
So if I understood you, you think the money is so small and that managing the money, those deductions will rather be counterproductive. Is that the reason why?
No. What we were saying was that it was, there was a challenge in engaging fund managers because most of them that we made proposals to, they were not too receptive to managing such because of the efforts they have to go to. But we finally managed to prevail on hedge, which happens to be, I'll say, one of us.
Why were they not very receptive? Is it because of the quantum involved? What is the reason?
It's the cost of managing. This is, Chairman, these are, I think, 3 or 4 casual workers for 12 months, and you're having 5,000. So for some of them, it was a bit, the proposal we made to some of them, it was the quantum and the cost in managing.
Now that we have the fund manager, what steps are you putting in place to ensure that these deductions can be carried out and paid on their behalf?
Chairman, as we said, we have now firmed up with the fund managers. So from the next month, which is September or thereabout, we'll start the deductions and then we'll recoup whatever losses were the 5,000 that was not paid in share, because it's the same workers who virtually have enjoyed what should have gone into that. So we'll recover those amounts and pay into the Tier 2 pension.
You know how important this is to the workers. Tier 2 deductions is very, very important. So as soon as, now you have the fund manager, you need to keep the auditors updated on this.
Okay.
And we'll also get to know and make sure that it gets it done.
Thank you, Chairman.
I think with that, we'll be we have a public interest question from OPK.
Thank you. Minister, one has to do with the Pokwase to Nsawam Road. In recent times, there's been a lot of news surrounding the Pokwase Road. In fact, I use the road virtually every weekend. And now I have a new route where when I get to Nsawam, I have to go and, use the Ebri Road because it will take you, let's say, 1.5 hours to get from Nkokro to, let's say, Nsawam. But you end up doing 2 hours on that stretch. Just this week, we've seen that the contractor is on site. Is he just there to do some patches, or is there to ensure completion of the work? We need that commitment from you.
Honorable Chair, I would have been surprised if the Nsawam Pokwase Road did not come up for conversation around this table. Honorable Chair, I have my minister's permission to first of all apologize to all motorists on that stretch. It's one of the hot potatoes that we inherited at the ministry. By the time we got to the ministry, the contractor, like many other contractors across the country, had already abandoned site due to non-payment. And we have been working with the finance minister to ensure that we get some releases to these contractors so they can go back to complete some of these very critical projects. Fortunately, the finance minister has been cooperative. In the past, even before releases were made, we had meetings with some of these contractors, and based on assurances, some of them agreed to go back to site, for which we are very grateful. Some haven't been able to because of obvious reasons. But this particular contractor, fortunately, as we speak, has received some payment and has now adequately mobilized back to site. And it is our hope that before the end of this year, some significant improvement would have been noticed on that road. And so it's not just, and it's not going to be a 9-day wonder. He's back to site to continue with the projects. And we are very confident that it will now be within schedule. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. I commend you for your sincerity, first by apologizing to the good people of this country. It's been a worry. I've seen tractor drivers, truck drivers, everybody complain on that stretch. And we pray that at least we all know the contractor, we know he's capable of completing this work. And would urge him, with or without money, at least he should try and do something. And I know that government will release the funds. Second question has to do with cocoa rows. When this new government took over, we saw that you transferred the liabilities of cocoa rows, some 21 billion, from Ghana Cocoa Board to the Ministry of Roads and Highways. In March 2025, there was a joint committee that was set up by the government. And this is a committee from the Ministry of Roads and Highways and that of Cocoa Board to normalize or to look at the nuts and everything and tighten them. I want to find out from you, what is the state? I was in the constituency this week. There's a major cocoa road from Fomanso to Atobi Chrome in my place, and it's stalled for like 1 year. This is a project, a challenge that you inherited. And I would not sit here to do politics with it, but we need to do something about cocoa. Some of them, 80% complete, 70% complete, and all that is remaining is the funds for these contractors to complete the job. So what is the commitment from government, at least from the March 2025 arrangement that you had with Cocoa Board? Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother, OPK. I think that the concept of cocoa roads was done with very good intentions. And we all know how much we have benefited as a country from the produce cocoa. Unfortunately, communities that support the production have not really benefited by way of roads improvements in those communities. And so the idea to prioritize road network in those communities was a very brilliant one. Unfortunately, it encountered challenges because perhaps we did not plan properly and we also overburdened the idea. So the agreement with Cocoa Board is that they will take the liabilities now and then the road ministry will take back the assets and plan to complete those that are at an advanced stage on new terms with either the contractors that are on the site or with new contractors, that is if those on it are not willing to continue. So that is the arrangement that we have in place now. So it is part of our rationalization exercise that we are doing at the ministry, where when we took over, we went around the whole country to examine all the road network in the country. And the cocoa roads were part of the roads that we visited. And so we have a portfolio of roads that we want to rationalize and either terminate and re-award or repackage for award to new contractors. So the cocoa roads will be attended to, under a new regime now that will be supervised by the road ministry. But what is outstanding, the liabilities, will be taken care of by Cocoa Board. Except, let me make the correction, that the total indebtedness that we inherited at the road ministry was over 21 billion Ghana cedis. And that was not the debt for cocoa roads. That's the total indebtedness. Cocoa roads debt is separate. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. I'm done. Just to commend you, there's this particular stretch, about 1 kilometer or 2, between Apeja, Apeja Junction. That road has about 10 vulcanizers on that stretch alone. And I've seen that it's been worked on and all of that. But we will need same commitment in repairing those potholes, especially from the Accra, Kumasi, Tamale stretch. Sometimes there's undue traffic, and when you inquire, the only reason is that the potholes makes it difficult for the drivers to drive on. So maybe same commitment. Let's fix the potholes and stop the accidents happening on that stretch. Thank you very much, Minister.
Thank you very much, OPK. Unfortunately, you have not highlighted the fact that the vulcanizers on that stretch may just be out of job very soon. But thank you for taking note of that, and I give you the assurance that the ministry will also prioritize other roads that are in similar conditions. I just will hope that this committee will also take it upon itself to help us at the road ministry so that we, like the Director, Department of Urban Roads said earlier, we will not be paying interest, but we will be paying for actual work done. And that can happen when we have prompt releases and support from the Finance Ministry in most cases. Because, contractors really take high risk to, serve this country by the projects that they undertake. Sometimes they put their life and properties on the line just to raise funds to go and do projects that you and I and everyone else will benefit from. And those personal projects they put as, what do you call it? The banks, what do they call it? Collateral, to take money to do these jobs, sometimes come under attack. Some of them die, some of them become paupers as a result. And it's all because they may have done that to do a road for everybody to use and didn't get paid on time or didn't get paid at all. So please, I, on behalf of my minister, will want to enlist the support of this committee to help us get timely releases from the finance ministry so that we can also pay the contractors within time. And that way we can hold them accountable to deliver quality jobs for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You know, sometimes it's good that you taste power. Your story and everything will be different. Honorable.
My enemy.
Yeah, that's how we call ourselves. He's also my enemy. But sometimes it's good to taste power, and then the narration and everything will be different. Today, you are humbly pleading, knowing very well that there are constraints on resources, humbly pleading that the finance ministry will allocate some monies so that you can complete these projects. I'm happy, and I think I would also want to add my voice to that, that they should allocate some monies for you to enable you complete, especially those that are near completion. And I want to use this opportunity to also speak for the people around Osino, that bypass, where 7 contractors have been put on that road to construct a bypass to ease that traffic from Osino, Enyinem, Asamai, and Kase, all the way to Konongo. The dust around the place is serious. And that also has some health repercussions. So we are pleading with your ministry, and also I hope Honorable Dr. Atoforsen is hearing us, and I know Ministry of Finance will appear before us, that they should allocate some monies to these contractors. They have done the work to a certain stage. Let's make sure we complete these ones. Because one, it will serve a lot of purpose. Remember, sometimes you think there's an accident or something on the road, but people can be on the road, that small stretch, for close to 3-4 hours. Especially when you are going to Kwel, you are going to Enyinem, you are going to Kumasi, Tamale, Techiman. So respectfully, we ask that you prioritize these projects. There are 7 Ghanaian contractors. And I believe that when we fund our local contractors, they also will help the economy to grow, to also make some money and pay taxes. So, Minister, I'm happy, and you are speaking like this, and I pray that we are able to raise more revenue so that government can allocate some to complete the bypass all the way from Osino and Enyinem to Konongo to ease the traffic and also improve economic activities along the road. But thank you so much, my enemy.
If you continue with this kind of advocacy, I will appeal to my minister to capture you under the 166 constituencies to benefit. That's just on a lighter note. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. Minister, this is public interest question concerning Accra-Aflawu Road. On the road, you see that there is a ditch that sometimes when you go, you bump into it and then it creates accident. I hope all of us have been plowing that road.
I can
It's a
concur.
small problem they need to fix. So I'll urge your ministry to rectify that. Like I've seen that nowadays you have been doing a lot of patching of potholes, and the roads are a little bit more trouble. So I'll urge the ministry to do that because it's creating a lot of accidents on the road.
Thank you for drawing our attention. We have taken note of that. The assurance I have for you is that last week or so, we had a meeting, a very successful meeting with one of the contractors on that stretch, First Sky, and we have assurance that they will improve those sections that you are speaking of. But thank you very much for drawing our attention to it.
Honorable Minister, thank you so much for coming to our Public Accounts Committee. If I allow every member has roles, and we wouldn't have enough time. Yes, it's just the leadership that spoke about it. I'm waiting for airport in Cape Coast. That's all. Minister, you are discharged. Thank you very much. Honorable members, we are done for the day, and we are sitting again tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And the ministries will confirm the ministries that are coming, but tomorrow the workload will be heavier than today. We want to pack up tomorrow and Saturday, tomorrow and Friday, for us to clear as many of the ministries as possible. So get ready. We will stay later than 5 p.m. and we'll make the job, we'll make it happen. So thank you very much. Rest well tonight and come in tomorrow to work. Thank you.